Hello and welcome to the Screen Chronicles. I'm Colby, and with me as always is Steve. And today we are continuing our Season 2 of The Mandalorian talk with our recap and review of Episode 2. So what'd you think of Episode 2, Steve? Kind of non-spoiler talk here early on.
Yeah, sure. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Without giving anything of the plot away, it was just another episodic episode. There wasn't that big overarching story yet, and I was also worried that we would start seeing a lot of cameos and other characters maybe jammed down every episode since the first one. And we talked about Ahsoka is supposed to show up. Luke might show up. Boba Fett. The list goes on and on for possible of Clone Wars crossovers. Sequel trilogy, original trilogy people. But none of that happened. It was just Mando on a quest, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was as great as the first episode of the season, but I really enjoyed it. This one I had a different tone, and I was a little creeped out at points. And but yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely a different tone. I really enjoyed watching it. I thought it was a fun episode. I've been reading a lot of reviews online that people are pretty disappointed in this episode, actually. And I was like,
the same way the first season, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was exciting and fun and very different compared to the other episodes. I liked it was like a refreshing feel. It definitely there were some creepy things that I don't know if they intended to be creepy or if they meant for it to be comedy, but it kind of came off a little weird. We'll get into that. If you've seen the episode, you might already know what we're talking about. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun episode. I texted you right after I watched it. I was like, that was wild. That was a wild ride.
Yeah, you compared it to some other movie franchises, though.
I had the feeling of a little bit of Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. And again, if you've seen the episode, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about right now before we get here into the spoiler talk. But again, I really enjoy the episodic feel. Yes, do I want it to tie into a bigger storyline? Yeah, we'll get there. But I also enjoy just having a single adventure. And there were a lot of things I liked about this episode. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah. And I'm before we get into spoilers too, I'm pretty sure that even though this was episodic, that the resulting of this quest is going to tie into the big overarching story.
Absolutely. A lot more Baby Yoda this episode, I will say.
Baby Yoda.
This is not a huge spoiler, but
if you put one mark on him, there's no place you will be able to hide from me.
So, spoiler alert, people.
Yes.
From here on, let's talk about real quick, just so I don't lose that thought. This one, even though it was episodic, if you watch the episode, he picks up this gecko salamander lady,
Frog lady.
People
are calling her Frog Lady.
Yeah, people are calling her Frog Lady, but she looks more like a gecko,
a lizard of some kind. I was going to call her a lizard lady.
Yeah, she lays
better
eggs
alliteration.
like a frog, though, like an amphibian. Like you have to fertilize them externally, so that's more amphibian-like. Anyway, but at the end, though, he's taking her to this planet, and that's his quest is for him to drop her off with her husband so he can fertilize her last batch of eggs. But if you watch the trailer or the sneak peek or whatever it is that Disney Plus released, there was this trailer and then a sneak peek, which was just like a more extended trailer.
Okay.
And if you watch that scene where Mando sees that woman who disappears into the crowd, who most of us think is probably a Force user of some kind, you can see him walking through that port with Gecko Lady and her blue husband loading off there. So I'm pretty sure the next one, if he gets to the planet, we didn't see him get to the planet at the end of this one, that it's going to pick up right with that overarching story that
interesting
people are waiting for.
Interesting. Yeah. It's interesting because when we first met this lizard lady too, it's kind of an odd character. to come in. It's Star Wars. Get a bunch of weird stuff. Turns out, though, this lizard lady's highly intelligent. Highly intelligent. Was able to actually, because she couldn't speak Mando's language. She couldn't speak English, and Mando couldn't speak her language. So she actually hardwired a droid to translate what she was saying.
The one that was with the Bill Burr's crew.
Yeah,
season 1.
Yeah. So these frog people are highly intelligent. I'm guessing.
They're definitely sentient creatures. They have a language. They were communicating with the Tatooine mechanic chick,
Who's also highly intelligent to know that language.
Yeah, she must be fairly.
I cracked up when she just broke out into frog talk. I thought she was opening her mouth up to yawn. She just. We'll get into that in a second, but I thought this episode had a pretty fun start.
Yeah, I really love it. It starts out right after. So he ended the first episode on Tatooine. He blew up a crate dragon, got Boba Fett's armor, and he's heading out back to Mos Eisley.
With a big old hunk of crate dragon meat.
Big old hunk of crate dragon meat. He gets ambushed by some desert raider guys who are they're actually bounty hunters, I guess would be the right term for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're tracking the child still, which was still a carryover from season 1, how all the bounty hunters are tracking Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And I thought he was gonna dodge, so they set up this trap with a rope that he ends up running into, but I thought he was gonna dodge it. I was like, no way this old cartoon Roadrunner trick is gonna work on Mando, Why?
That's what I was thinking.
Bing. But then it does.
Like, this is Star Wars. This is Star Wars, and they're using a rope to do it. It's like such a you're right. It's like such an old-fashioned thing.
A rope.
Let's just trip him as he's going by. Well, I guess they've used ropes before. They use ropes to tie up the AT-AT's legs, right?
Yeah, and that was a travesty in itself too.
Why?
Because they were the
because it's hard to do on Battlefront 2?
Yes, that too. And are we talking Ewoks or are we talking
Ewoks.
Hoth?
No, I'm the Hoth.
All right, Hoth. All right, Hoth made sense. Well, those were like towing cables, But when those little furry things, I can't rant about Ewoks this whole episode, but I hated that. Anyway, back to this. It was pretty crazy, and it was a great fight too. It was.
But wait.
On the edge of my seat.
But did your heart drop when Baby Yoda hit the ground?
Oh yeah,
You fell out of that. I was like, oh. I was like, no, Baby Yoda. He just went thud.
That was a hard fall.
It broke my heart.
And Mando was just like,
Look, dude, I love that part. Mando using his jetpack to regain stability. That was cool. That was a cool use of the jetpack.
Yeah. And then he has to fight off all these guys. Then he's trying to get the Baby Yoda. And I think they knock his blaster away. And then they're just shooting him. And he's just covering up. It was a great fight. And I love the choreography for that. And but anyway, he ends up beating the crap out of those dudes, of course. And then I think it was a Jawa bounty hunter.
No, I think it was. I don't know if it was a Jawa though.
No,
it kind of looked like the thing that was with when Rey was a scavenger. It looked like one of the things that was talking to her. I don't know its name.
Okay,
but it was a little creature,
desert guy. I don't know.
About twice the height of Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And
he puts a knife to his throat. He puts a knife to a baby's throat.
And it's like, who do you hate more? The stormtroopers from season 1 that were punching him in the bag, or this guy holding a knife to it? By the way, everyone needs to go watch the philosophical video of the stormtroopers from season 1 talking. Oh, I don't know. You sent it to me, Steve.
Yeah,
what's it called?
I think it's Arlenauts is the name of the channel. And
yes.
I think it's existential clone trooper talk from Mandalorian or something like that. I check it out. We'll link it. We'll link it in the description here.
It was hilarious. Anyway, though, so it's holding the knife up, and Mando's like, "Look, we can make a deal. We can make a deal. and the thing just points, and Mando like just takes off his jetpack, and he places it in the middle, and backs up, and the thing's like, "That's a sweet deal. Those jetpacks are sweet."
That's shiny.
So he gives up. Yeah, it's shiny. That's pretty cool. He gets it, throws it on his back, and he's like walking away. And the way the camera shows, it shows Mando just picking up Baby Yoda and like, "You okay?" And the thing's just like, "Ha ha ha, I won." And I thought Mando was just going to straight just pull out his pistol and pick him off.
Yep. I thought he was going to Indiana Jones from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
When the guy's out in the crowd with the sword, I thought he'd bam and just turn away.
Yeah, but it's so much better than that. It's so much better than that.
I almost choked.
God.
I was eating my dinner when I was watching this on Friday, and I was expecting the shot, and I was just eating my food. All of a sudden, he hits a button, and the guy just goes straight up with the jetpack. And I almost choked. Because I just like snorted like a real quick like laugh, and then he just comes down with a thud like.
Yeah, there's like but there's a pause though.
Yeah.
There's a nice like pause, and then there's another pause, and I love how his jetpack come down and Elon Musk lands like his Elon Musk rockets, and it lands gracefully, and then just falls forward. It was really cool.
Baby Yoda just looks up at Mando. Like,
yeah,
like why'd you do that?
Yeah,
why'd you do that instead of just shoot him?
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome.
But Baby Yoda has no room to talk about ethics or to lecture Mando on ethics because he is a devil in this.
He is a relentless, ruthless, emotionless.
Jeffrey Dahmer of Star Wars.
Just no empathy, no... I don't even know. Like, he's a murderer. He is a vicious, just family killer.
So like we said, Mando, Din Djarin, he goes back to Mos Eisley, then he runs into the mechanic girl.
He goes to Cantina.
You know, the one where Han Solo was at, that we saw back in Gunslinger, which was just full of Easter eggs itself.
Yeah.
And
I'm a little surprised they used it again. I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's not a mainstay in the series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's playing against an ant. This giant. I just thought it was a callback to old, original trilogy sort of creatures. Yeah. Yeah, big puppet thing that she's playing against. Apparently, the guy who directed this episode directed the 2 Ant-Man movies in the MCU. So I think that was sort of a hint at, some of his previous work.
Yeah.
Sort of another Easter egg.
Definitely.
But anywho, then, mechanic chick sets him up with Gecko Girl to find other Mandalorians on this other planet. She says she can tell you where or make a connection or whatever if you just take her there. You can't travel above light speed. You can't.
Yeah, Mando's
can't
like
go hyperspace.
It's the only way I stay safe. Mando says.
Yeah, that's how I don't run into other people. And apparently, it's because the gecko lady has these eggs that are unfertilized, sort of more like an amphibian. So I can see why people call her Frog Lady. And they're in this jug, this blue milk jug. And
Baby Yoda's first look, man, when he saw those things.
Yeah, he got it.
His eyes, he's like, ah.
And you hear too that this is her last batch that she can make. So she's like going through whatever the equivalent of menopause is for her species.
This is
the last of her that she can make of her family.
So
this is big. This is a big mission for Mando.
What did you think, though, when Baby Yoda first looked at those eggs and he looked happy? And I was like, oh.
So I thought some sort of baby connection was going on there. That's some sort of life, energy, force connection sort of thing was going on. And then she does get on the ship with Mando. She brings her eggs that are so precious to her that she just leaves them downstairs unguarded. and they're unlocked too, so you can just open the top of it, and Baby Yoda goes down, checks it out, and it's this there's this music playing like and you're like, oh, is that Force music? Baby Yoda goes up to it, he puts his hand on it, all the eggs move towards his hand, and you're like, oh, the Force, he's using the Force. Some sort of Force connection thing is happening. Is he
gonna hatch them? Is he gonna bring them to life, or what's he gonna do? Is he gonna some kind of mysterious Force connection?
Yeah, some sort of Empire Strikes Back, Dagobah, Yoda.
Something maybe we haven't even seen yet. No. Turns out it was just hunger.
He starts popping these babies like they're Tic Tacs, man.
Popcorn, just... Well, Mando's up in the thing, and this is another thing, too. He's just met this stranger frog lady, and he's just like, all right, I'm going to leave my ship here. You just stay here in the cockpit and stuff. I'm going to go down and sleep. I'm just like, there's no way I'm I don't know, leaving a stranger in my car while I take a nap.
No.
It's like, anyway, he goes
I'm
down.
going to the back seat. All right. You sit up here in the driver.
Now to be fair, Baby Yoda, I don't think heard that those were the last of her eggs.
To be
fair, I don't even know if Baby Yoda thought that those were eggs. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
What is the
I don't know what he knows.
on him?
I don't know how smart.
He's 50 years old.
He's 50. He's 50.
He might be able to understand people,
but
he might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Was he even there when she said it though?
Maybe not.
I don't think she was there. I thought she said that to Mando separately.
But you think his Force reach out thing,
would tell him is these things are living.
These are young things that are alive. Yeah. That lady was carrying them. They're meaningful to her in some way.
Yeah. I can feel in the Force that they mean a lot to her.
Yeah.
There's a very strong connection.
But Jin comes down here. He's got the lid open. Pop. Just putting them down just
eating Cheerios, just a cereal.
Yeah.
Just like, oh my God.
What are those Thanksgiving eggs? What are those? The
deviled eggs?
That's it, deviled eggs. He was just eating those deviled a deviled egg. Just throwing it down.
And he's just chomping these things. Amanda's like, no. Mando.
No. Put it back. And I was like, oh, that was kind of weird. It was funny-ish, but I was also, like I said, I had the setup that some sort of magic Force connection thing was going on there.
Yeah.
That something big was going to happen, meaningful. But no, he was hungry, and it was a laughing part. And it was kind of funny, the fact that he was eating them, but at the same time, you're just like, that's a sentient being's offspring,
Yeah.
It
made it really weird.
These are her last eggs. That's even though they're external, it would be the same as, a mother who has, 9 months of a child inside of her. They're outside in this tank for 9 months instead, and then someone eats it because it.
I think they were going for funny.
And it was funny, but it was also just
funny, but I don't know if they were going for that creepy tone, that kind of cringy, dude, it's not cool. It's not cool at all. Eating it. You find a frog on the, in the grass. Yeah, go ahead and eat it. That's funny.
That's
whatever.
Funny.
That's funny. Little baby, these eggs. By the way, I had a couple eggs for breakfast today. It was, but I didn't know their mom. And
were you just taking them in your hand like this and just just inhaling it?
Yeah. So anyway, there was a creepy tone.
Yeah.
And it goes throughout, but
it keeps going. The thing is, I texted you and was like, "What the heck?" And then I was like, "He just ate one."
Just wait. I was like, "Just wait."
And then a little bit later, he does it again. I mean, before they even land on another planet, he eats another one. And Mando's again like, no. And eventually, once they're on the planet that they get to, he ends up stopping him from eating them. So I'm like, all right, here it is. They're done. We see at the very end though, when they're getting away, Gecko Mom is there with her eggs, just like holding them. Like, no, like I see that there's several missing in here. You know,
Yeah,
these
yeah, exactly. And as soon as Baby Yoda turns back and looks, she's like, no, no,
Yeah.
no,
Mm-mm.
no.
Just covering them up.
Yeah.
And so Baby Yoda just looks back to the camera, gives a little smile, pops another one.
one. Okay, at this point, he's been told no so many times. He has to know. He's turned back and saw. He turned back to see, like, the fear on the mother's face. And he still does it. And he's got like a little smile on his face, like, oh man.
Can you imagine the story she's going to tell her kids after they're born about how they survived? You know, I had to take you on this trip. We crashed on a frozen planet. There was giant spiders, but also the whole time this other baby was eating your siblings.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop him.
I wasn't even worried about that stuff.
I wasn't even the spiders, the snow. That was nothing.
This the cutest creature in the galaxy was trying to eat you. So, I mean, maybe that's just a normal part of their diet on of that species. Maybe Yoda just ate frogs and frog eggs and stuff.
That must be why he went to Dagobah. There's all these slimy, meat critters hopping around that he can just pop. Can you just see him like force pulling things over, just helpless against his mighty force powers, just nom nom nom, just rip into while they're alive.
Yoda.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like the scene when he pulls out the X-wing, except it's just him and he's just like, the music's playing. Just bring over a giant toad.
Just blood drooling down his face. Tasty this is.
Gross.
Squirm you do.
But it could only make me think of back in season 1 when we got the Baby Yoda choking Kara scene, the force choke. It was, it made me think like there's more to more than meets the eye when it comes to this cute little kid, I think. I don't know. Maybe using the force choke as an adolescent or as an infant is like, they just haven't developed and they just don't know that that's bad. You see kids hit other kids and they don't know it's that bad yet, so maybe it's that. But you never see any other, I don't know. The force choke was a strong choice in season 1. And having him eat another creature's eggs all episode was another strong choice in season 2. I just thought it was funny because they're trying to establish growth between that frog lady and Baby Yoda, because at the end of the episode, the frog lady like saves her from these spiders, or saves Baby Yoda from the spiders. And you kind of thought like, okay, like she's like gotten past that he's been trying to eat her eggs and she saves him and he's going to see that and be like, maybe I shouldn't eat this lady's eggs anymore because she saved my life.
A little life lesson for him on this trip.
Life lesson, it's not good to eat other people's children. Nope.
Yeah,
he is cold-blooded, just murderer. Murderer.
I'm with you. I thought it was a life lesson sort of episode for Baby Yoda, a little maturity, coming of age sort of experience, because we see him eat these eggs, but then we see once they're on the snow planet that they crash onto, when gecko salamander lady's taking a naked bath for no reason other than to get warm, to even though she's yelling at Mando to get ready, she decides to just leave anyway. Baby Yoda goes over, tries to eat some of the eggs, and Mando's like, no, don't eat these eggs, go get away, I'm putting these away.
And Baby Yoda immediately turns around and is like, I need another egg.
I could use a different egg then.
A different kind of egg.
And lo and behold, there's a whole bunch of eggs laying around on this, they're like frozen over, and you see them and you're just like, those are bad eggs. Those aren't good eggs, Baby Yoda.
If you put those on the thing in Willy Wonka, those would be bad eggs.
Don't eat those.
It'd be like, wah, wah, and go down.
Yeah, and you eat one and all the Oompa Loompas come out. Oompa,
Yeah.
Loompa, doopity doo. You ate a spider egg. Now they're coming.
Now they're coming
for
after
you.
Oh man!
And that's what happened. He eats it, and it's a disgusting egg too. He breaks into it, and it's this
gooey and
like spider larva.
At least the frog eggs looked.
They looked like deviled eggs.
They looked
like pickled eggs, deviled eggs, whatever you want to call them.
They didn't look that gross.
Yeah,
I could probably had a good texture. I would probably try one.
I'd probably have a couple. Yeah.
I might sneak another one.
All right,
but
one
anyway,
more.
Yeah. You still have 5 kids left. I could have one
you
more.
got plenty.
I thought the episode was totally going to go like she only has one left. Baby Yoda's going to eat it. How is Mando going to stop Baby Yoda from eating that last egg?
Yeah. It starts out with this bright hope that, she's got their eggs. They're the last ones. Mando's going to help carry over the next generation. No, it's a dark, twisted. You can't escape from Mando and his evil child. They'll trap you and they'll eat all your children. Hold on to the last one.
Oh, man, it was strange. But
he eats the spider eggs. He eats the spider egg. So I thought then, because all the giant spiders come out and they have to run away from them, and it pretty much wrecks. It really throws a monkey wrench into them trying to get off this planet.
Yeah.
And so like you said, though, I thought that was like a learning experience for Yoda then. Like, don't just
eat eggs.
Follow your gluttonous desire. Don't eat eggs. Don't just, follow your instincts. You have to listen to what people say and respect eggs and
yeah.
But no, at the end he's like, you have any more back there? What do you know? I have one right here. So but it was still fun. It was still a fun episode.
We'll see if they're back in it again. We'll see if Baby Yoda keeps trying to eat those eggs. It was fun, and it was kind of funny, and we're talking about it now, but it was kind of weird too. Like, it was kind of weird.
I laughed at the very end one just because it was so funny. But it was like evil. It was almost like a parody of like Star Wars or something.
That's what
sort
I thought.
Of feeling.
I
But
like,
I kind of
evil.
Like turn around, pop. Like it was so weird and meta kind of humor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of good eating, though, we got to see them kind of roast some crate dragon meat. By the way, they were like cooking it with like one of those, was it pod racer engine or something like that?
Yeah.
They're cooking it with, and that's like I think that's a shout out to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have a restaurant that's very similar. I think they have like a giant one, like an engine thing, and they cook.
Crate dragon meat.
Crate dragon meat. So that's.
I don't know how it'd be. I think you said it would be like giant worm meat, or would it be like giant crocodile meat?
Well, it's probably like giant crocodile meat.
Yeah.
It just looked like a worm in the episode.
That's
why I thought it was kind of. That's why I thought it was kind of gross at first.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's probably more like crocodile meat. That was a big chunk of meat.
That was a huge chunk. That's gonna get like your whole family through like a week or two, or just
a whole crate dragon. That's 3 generations. If you have a proper freezing system,
you have to have a proper freezing system. Anyway,
it depends on how your stomach works, in the galaxy and stuff too.
Yes.
If you can digest rotted meat, Baby Yoda probably can.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Baby
He was
Yoda's
gonna
a
eat that whole
savage.
thing. Because once he put it on there, Baby Yoda in the first one was like rubbing it or something. I was like, is he gonna eat all of that? Like, are we just gonna see him like munching away on that on the next few episodes in the ship, just like slowly getting smaller? Yeah,
I think he was until he found them eggs.
Yeah.
Let's move on from the eggs a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the spiders.
Yeah, well, before that, let's get to the New Republic guys. So Mando, as we said, he's taking Gecko lady on a trip to her planet. He can't travel through hyperspace. He has to travel sublight. So he ends up running into some New Republic guys. One of them, again, is Dave Filoni, who we saw
Yeah,
in
that was cool.
the episode that I really liked with the other bounty hunters. I think it was episode 6, or with Bill Burr and all them. He was an X-Wing pilot in that one that just, once you see the beacon somewhere, you bomb wherever it is. No questions asked.
I'm glad they showed a little bit more discretion in season 2.
That's why I was like, oh. So they pull up on Mando, Filoni and this other guy. They say, hey, you have to prove it. You're not Empire, which I thought was like, what the heck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, you don't have registration for.
Well,
New
he
Republic.
didn't have a certain beacon or something.
Yeah, he
that
wasn't
you're supposed to have.
registering as.
So
Old
it's pretty much
Republic
like
or
getting
Empire.
pulled over because you didn't get your registration.
Yeah.
You didn't get your inspection. And they weren't like total dicks about it. They just kind of like, hey, you don't have your beacon, so what's going on?
Yeah, and Mando's like, this is pre-Empire. Just chill out. Don't worry about it. I don't need anything. And they're like, you're gonna have to send over a ping. And Mando's like, it's not working.
Yeah, I don't have the hardware for that. And they're like, we'll wait.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like awkward, like pause in between each one. And then it gets to a point where the partner is kind of like, hey, can I talk to you on the other channel?
They basically threaten him. Like, if you don't do it, we're going to have to, light you up or whatever. And he's like, oh, what do you know? It's working now. And he just flips the one switch that sends it over. And they're going through like his history, his driving history, I guess. And like, oh, hey, we saw you. You were at that New Republic prisoner ship, the one where that guy escaped. In the episode I just talked about with Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Episode 6 from season 1. And they were like, oh, so you were there? And Mando's like, see ya!
Yeah. I just love it. He's just a pause. He's like, okay, because he's been talking his way out of this.
Yeah.
He even said, like, may the force be with you at one point to try to throw them off.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, so I'll just be on my way then, and may the force be with you. Just like...
Oh, yeah, one more thing. And I love the part where they're like, let's talk on the other channel real quick. Okay, switch over. And so Mando's not hearing anything, and he just looks, and both of them go into attack mode.
Yeah.
The X-Wings go up. I was like, oh, crap. And that's when they come back, and they confront him about that, and he's like thinking, how am I going to talk my way out of it? No, I'm just going to go. He just... Frog Lady's holding on like I'm in the car with Harry, like onto the thing. Harry and I driving to Walmart,
like a car is right in front of Harry, and
yeah,
we're mounting the curb. And
anyway, so he flies down to this like ice planet, being pursued by the X-Wings, and they're not shooting.
Mm-mm.
They're like saying, like, please, pull over. We don't want to have to shoot.
Yeah, they're like, come on, man, just pull over. And Mando's like, nope, not going to jail. Nope.
Yeah.
And it was a sweet chase. Like
a great chase.
Again, too, the effects in this look so good. Like the ice and the ships, and
I thought it was a fantastic. Like, yeah, it looked movie quality.
Yeah,
it looked so movie quality.
Eventually,
but he goes,
Mando wrecks, and
he tries to go through like an ice cave, which maybe Ray could get through, but
you got a Millennium Falcon that just like turns sideways, and it's
this one's a little bit more bulky.
Yeah, it's
a little bit harder to
It's more like a ball instead of like a straight.
It's a ball, but it still has the wings, so it's still long.
Yeah,
but it's also thicker. It's not like a thin thing. You can kind of like. It's way harder to maneuver.
Yeah.
Way harder to maneuver. It would even be easier to maneuver an X-Wing through there.
Yeah.
So anyway, he crashes on this just freezing ice planet, and like when he wakes up, he's like, you can see like the frost on his helmet, like it's frozen over. It's just so cold, and the lady's eggs are like the little bars are going down, and she's worried because she needs to heat them, to keep them at a certain temperature.
She's warm-blooded.
Yeah, they're warm-blooded, and so she's really freaking out, and she's like trying to tell Mando, like, and Mando's just like, we'll deal with it in the morning, whatever it is.
No, I'm taking a snooze.
Anyway, Yeah. By the way, we got to say this too. Mando tries to sleep a lot in this episode. He's taking all kind of naps and stuff.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of naps. He just wants a nap.
But I got to say how cute this was when we got to see, right after Mando tells Baby Yoda, stop eating them eggs. They go into the bunk, and I don't think we've seen Mando get into the bunk before. We've only seen Baby Yoda in there. He like hides him in that little cot that they've got. But it was kind of cool, like to see Mando crawl in there and get cozy, and he puts Baby Yoda up in the hammock above him,
little hammock,
the sling right there, and it's like, oh, that's a cute sleeping situation. I bet Baby Yoda like crawls out of that and like snuggles up to him.
Oh yeah,
because he does snuggle up to him later.
Yeah, when they're sleeping on the floor, then he
comes up.
Him.
I was like, oh, how are you gonna make this little serial killer so cute?
And so eventually, though, after they crash, and he's like, I don't want to fix it. My naps. I gotta get my nap in, and he cuddles up with Baby Yoda laying on the ground. And the frog lady, sees the droid there that we said, that the bounty hunter droid that piloted his ship back in that Bill Burr episode, that it's destroyed, but she ends up wiring it and, surprises Mando, and he hates droids, so he wakes up to this droid talking to him, and he's like, ah! And it turns out it's her, though, talking through it, and she basically calls him out. She says, hey, are you a brave Mandalorian like the stories say, or are you just some nappy dude, punk? And Baby Yoda looks at him like, hey, you got to be a role model right here. Man, I was like, God, jeez, man.
She straight tells him, man. She lays down the law. Yeah.
So he does. He gets to work then. He starts, trying to fix the place. And of course, though, after he does this, she decides to just leave. She's like, you know what? You work. I'm going to go get in a hot tub right now.
No. She's like, you're not even offering to use your flamethrower to help warm my eggs. I'm going to go find something that will. So she goes to find the hot springs. By the way, let's talk about this planet for a second. Because I guess before the episode came out, there's a conspiracy that this was Ilum.
Yeah. I kind of thought that too.
But it's not.
It's where the Jedi crystals were.
Which is the conspiracy.
Jedi.
Conspiracy is that becomes Starkiller Base.
Oh.
That's not proven. That's
a theory, though.
That's a theory.
Yeah,
that's a theory. Because of the potency of the kyber crystals on the planet would make sense.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a snowy planet in Force Awakens that they're on, right?
Yeah. But I think they drew from like a star. I don't think it was powered the same way as like a Death Star.
That's true. They did draw from a star.
Like,
so there might be holes in that theory, but that is a theory.
Yeah.
And I can see some things similar to that. And the people thought that this planet in Mandalorian was Ilum because like it's got the balance of the hot springs and this ice planet, kind of thing. And they thought maybe, but turns out it's not. It's not Ilum.
He goes over, sees her in this hot tub, and he's like, come on, we can't just be hanging out here. Get your eggs. And he starts just picking them up from the water, which is like, I'd be afraid of like squishing one of those things once they're wet. You know what I mean?
Baby Yoda comes in as like this giant bowl of cereal. And he's still trying to eat them eggs. He's like still trying to get in there.
He's like, Captain Crunch.
Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking that too, man.
Man, I was like, go away.
He's doing like a scooping technique, though. He's
pretty safe.
Looks like he scooped some eggs before.
She's not helping him like at all. And it's like, these are your kids. You pick them up.
Well, she doesn't want to get him out of it. Like he has to talk her into it. She wants to stay and keep him warm. And
Anywho, like we said, Baby Yoda then goes over. He eats that disgusting spider egg, and you just know, you're like, there's way too many of these eggs around.
Oh, they all start shaking.
That their spiders aren't going to be popping out.
They all start shaking.
They start popping out. And Mando just like stands there and waits as they're all like popping out. And you're just like, ew, disgusting, ew. Then all of a sudden, out of this giant cavern, first start some like medium-sized ones, like dog-sized spiders.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, those are bad. And then all of a sudden, a giant Aragog start coming out.
No, but they're kind of a different design from spiders. It almost looks like they took a spider and like a squid, and then like just like a horrible mouth.
Yeah, it has like
round mouth, sharp teeth,
like a sucker biter.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was like a design from the old original trilogy artwork.
Yeah,
they
from
had fun.
from Empire Strikes Back, I think.
Yeah, I think
For Dagobah.
Oh yeah. So they showed up here, and I think they were also in Rebels.
They're in Rebels.
So that was something to see, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you can look
To
up
me, that was just like, those are disgusting.
You can look up the
spiders.
concept art for The Empire Strikes Back, and it looks pretty much identical to these spiders. So they pretty much just took it from that concept, and pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. They're called Krykna, or what they're called.
Ooh,
Spiders. Oh, that's a creepy name. So anyway, I think you and I had the same reaction to this scene. And tell us if you, in the comments, if you guys did too, but my skin was crawling, man. Oh, this was so uncomfortable, especially
as soon as he ate the egg, I was just like, ugh,
wow, that was all uncomfortable too.
ugh.
But they start running out of this place, and they're being pursued by these spiders. First of all, come on, when they're running, like they're like 75% jogging out of that place. I'm not getting chased by giant spiders, dude. You won't see me.
That's like a warm up. That was like a warm up run before you start sprinting for practice. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what? Also, Mando has great accuracy. He was like pop, pop. He wasn't missing anything. He was John Wick in these spiders. But
There's just too many.
There's too many. And I was like, hey, when these things started popping up, Mando has no problem using his flamethrower.
In situations that don't warrant it.
Yeah, like
people talking.
There's an argument. Flamethrower. This will break it up.
Being attacked by 1,000 spiders. I'll save it for later.
If I like a video game way of thinking, I see all these little spiders. Flamethrower, get all that. I was like, Mando, haven't you ever played like I think they're called Hollow games or something in your universe? Come on, man. Come on.
My God. But yeah, so
He eventually uses them. He like, you see him like turn it on, and like the whole hall lights up.
Yep.
And he gets away.
Yeah, but
Big one just keeps coming for him, like over top too.
It's you can like see it through the ice over top, and it kind of just periodically like stabs through it, and it's intense. It's a great escape scene. The only complaint I would have is like they're running away, especially the frog ladies at first. Not super believable. But her hopping away, that was believable. That was kind of funny, where she's like not running fast enough. Man, it's come on, and she like just turns
up her like skirt a little bit and just goes
starts
on all fours.
On all fours hopping, and she like surpasses Mando. But they're not fast enough for these spiders. They're just getting surrounded.
Oh,
they do get back to the ship, and
I thought they were going to be safe.
Well, no,
they get inside, and then Mando, he turns around to start shooting them, and he gets webbed to the side. And I was like, oh my God, no. He eventually, he breaks out of it, though. He like squishes one in his hand.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was satisfying. Did you get a little sad?
I was satisfied with that.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
But he gets in.
Now they're going to sell a bunch of stress balls that are these spiders. Yeah, they get in, and unfortunately there's that hole in the ship. So the spiders just start infestation everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, please stop.
Burn it all.
They do get into finally to the
cockpit.
The cockpit, you climb up that thing, and they're just right on him. He's shooting him. And they even get into the cockpit. And I just was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
He eventually uses the flamethrower again to like clear out the door, shuts the door. So
which was cool.
Temporary safe in there. But yeah, it was very creepy. And like you said, it just had a Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter feel to it, or
Lord of the
Rings, yeah.
Especially when he uses the flamethrower and stuff, and that seems to work pretty good. And when he comes back out, also while they're in there, Baby Yoda's about to get his head eaten by one of these things, and Frog Lady actually snipes him off.
Oh, that's right, yeah, too.
So she helped him. She saved his life.
That's right.
It's pretty awesome. And then
he thought he was going to appreciate her. Then
that's what I meant earlier. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he thought he was going to like learn his lesson and be like, "Wow, she helped me. Maybe I shouldn't eat her children."
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they're in the cockpit and something starts shooting these spiders from outside.
Well, also a big one lands on there before. Another big Aragog, because he blew up one. I think he killed it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Because he's like throwing bombs out. I was like, that's the best decision you've made so far, Mando.
And I was like, did that actually work? No one ever throws a bomb at a giant thing at first that it works. So I was like, did it actually work? Yeah, so maybe it was a different one.
It might
I
have
don't know
been
if it was the same one.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, it comes down on the ship.
It's just stabbing through. It was tense. This was intense scene of all these.
I was just like, how are they going to get out of it?
But New Republic guys
find him.
Apparently they took the time to land, get out of their ship, aim their guns before they start shooting. Like that big one, I think like as you're pulling in to land, you could have just been like,
yeah. Just shoot a couple proton bombs at it.
Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they start just shooting them, and you're like, who's shooting that? And Mando comes out, like the lights blinding him, and you see it's those two guys that hassled him before. And
they were just doing their jobs.
Yeah, they were doing their jobs. They're doing their jobs.
But they were good dudes.
They're pretty cool.
They were like we really should take you in because you helped that prisoner escape. But you also did
help that guy that was Bill Burr was threatening. You said, hey, let's not shoot him. And you ended up actually apprehending all of the other people.
Yeah.
And they were all wanted.
So...
And two, I think he should have mentioned too, like, hey, you bombed that dude though. Like you killed him and the guy who hired it. Like they're done. They're done, man. You bombed them, no questions asked. I just sent a beep, beep, beep.
That's all it was a beacon.
And it was nowhere near the ship that they were originally on. Nowhere even near. And you just came out of hyperspace and were like, guess we gotta kill them all.
I'm getting the signal. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, so they were good. They're like, Mando's like, can you help me patch up my ship? They're like, yeah. And then before they even see him try to leave, they just take off. I think I said to you, I was like, that's like helping someone start their car and then like leaving before they even try to turn it on.
Mm-hmm. you literally jump it and you're like, all right, take the cables off.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
But anyway, yeah, so. And when they pull out, like they still have to get out, and the spider's still on top. And
yeah, his ship once he takes off, like it falls off. I just love watching the physics of it. You know,
looks real, man.
It looked like a real giant spider falling off of a spaceship. I've seen that a few times.
I know. It's pretty awesome.
It just ends with him off in space. So
no, it ends with Baby Yoda eating that egg.
Oh, it ends with him eating the egg. But we don't see them get to the planet or anything.
Yeah, so they're still on their way to the planet.
So I assume the next one, it's going to start out with them landing there. I don't know, though. Maybe another adventure will happen.
Yeah. By the way, the frog lady snatched her clothes with her tongue.
Oh, yeah.
While they're trying to get away. Like, oh, crap, we got to go. It was
Did that make anyone else jump? And it was just...
Yeah. It was so quick. But yeah, otherwise, I had a fun time watching this episode. It was uncomfortable. I questioned the Baby Yoda stuff, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, and it definitely had a different feel from the first one, too. Like we said, the first one felt like a Western, and this one seemed more like a
fantasy.
Fantasy, Harry Potter sort of. I don't know, it was its own thing, you know what I mean? So I really enjoyed it.
Just a fun adventure. I thought it had a lot of comedy, though. I thought a lot of the stuff with the Republic guys were... The New Republic, by the way.
Yeah.
The New Republic. Was pretty... funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of funny moments besides the Baby Yoda stuff, which was questionable at times. Like
it was kind of funny.
Landed. It was funny, but just why it landed. I mean, there was a lot of, like we said, the humor where the mechanic chick just starts speaking in amphibian, and
I thought it was funny too. They just called it frog. He's just like, I don't speak frog.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. Like, do you even know the frog?
They didn't have like a species name. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Baby Yoda was eating a frog, so I guess they.
I know they have frogs. I don't know. I feel like they'd come up with a name for the species or something.
Yeah.
Besides just frog. Excited to see where it goes. Really no idea where the next one's going to go. Fun episode overall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're heading towards the Force users or the Mandalorians. This next episode here, I think we're going to get some payoff from that that. But I have no complaints from just episodic episodes. I enjoy that. I know a lot of other people, they're used to the Netflix style. Every episode builds on the other, but I like that there's a contained story with its own arc in each one, and because that way too, I'm never bored, especially with a week release.
Right.
So I enjoy that. I really like it.
I like it.
Thanks for watching, listening, guys. Subscribe on the YouTube. Sign up for the bell, ring the bell for the notifications, but just have your phone on silent for YouTube so we're not bothering you throughout your day. And have us on automatic downloads for podcasts if that's where you listen to us. Same thing. And follow us on all the social media. We have the links in the description and up here on the page here at the end. So Thank you again.
Yeah, and we'll keep covering these episodes as they come out. But for now,
this is the way.
This is the way.